Hello. Welcome to a bit of a different video. I thought this time I'd do a one-off. One of my favourite games ever. BallisticNG. It's essentially Wipeout, like the old racing games, but given a bit of a different lick of paint, because there's a bit of a question as to who even owns the rights to Wipeout nowadays. But I really like it, actually. It's Wipeout with modern physics. And also, I don't know if it shows up in the top left, because I don't know if that's Steam putting it into the game, or if OBS won't detect it because it's just a Steam overlay, but it's also running at 165 frames a second. Oh, I didn't know it gave you little demos, but anyway, I'll skip over those. And it's running at 165 FPS because that's what my monitor happens to run at, which is a bit weird. It only cost 200 quid, this monitor. So yeah, I think it's a gigabyte something or other. It's not bad. So it is incredibly smooth. I figured. So I was thinking, I love this game so much. I sort of wanted to do a video on it. But it would be terrible as a playthrough because I could do all this campaign, but it would just be you watching me concentrate, and I wouldn't really talk very much. So I've decided instead to do a one-off video where I just recommend it, because it's a little bit retro-y, and it sort of fits into almost the niche I'm carving out now, which is that I play old games on my channel. This isn't an old game, literally, but it does, I think, even improve on the old Wipeout games, which is a tall order, I know, but it's really good. So you might recall, if you're a fan of the Wipeout games, there are loads of different speed classes, and they all have cool names. For instance, in Wipeout 3, which is the game I grew up with, there was Vector, Venom, Rapier, and Phantom. Now, this game kind of follows the same thing. There's Toxic, Apex, Halberd, Spectre, and Zen. I'm going to go on Spectre, because Zen is very hard. I could probably do something on Zen, but it would be difficult for me to talk at the same time. It's probably difficult for me to talk at the same time on Spectre, to be honest, so maybe I'll go down for Halberd. And then I'll do maybe a race on Zen. There are different physics engines. There's 2159 and 2280 to sort of act like different games almost. Yeah, AGR 2280. 2159 is the regular game, so I'm going to show you that. I've made a preset of my favourite tracks. Now, this includes Harpstone, Asic Nove, Marina Rush, Freya Falls, Thermofumos, Metro, and Mana Top. Now, Harpstone, Asic Nove, Marina Rush, Freya Falls, Thermofumos, and Metro are all from this game. Mana Top, as you might be able to tell from the white Whip 3 out there, Wipeout, is modded in. And it's the same Mana Top as in Wipeout 3, which was my favourite track in Wipeout 3. So, yeah, there's not all of the Wipeout 3 tracks. There's Stanza Inter, Mega Mall, and Mana Top, which I think are the best three anyway. So, genuinely, this game has a lot of good tracks in itself. I think Freya Falls, Thermofumos and Metro are all from DLCs as well, but the DLCs are really not expensive. So, we've got a lot of different crafts to choose from, and they all look really cool. Actually, that's the... oops. I never remember the... there we go. There's 2159 and 2280 versions of everything now, because they've expanded the game, and that expansion is free, I will add. So you get to choose cosmetically which one you like. I really like 2280, but I'm just going to sort of flick through these and you could pause at your leisure. Yeah, they have various... so, okay, the Barracuda Model 0 is a bit of a weird one because it doesn't have any weapons. Same with... eventually... I've never tried the Britonic, it doesn't look very good. Me, nor the MTEG. The Precision Delta I've only got because I unlocked it from doing a side thing. The NX2000 is also something you can't use weapons on. The regular Barracuda is, I think, something you're not allowed to use in the base campaign, because, I mean, look at the stats. It's just something that's ridiculously quick. Barracuda S is something I've also unlocked. The Saigon is something you can use, but it's from a different game. It's from Grip. I want to use one of this game's craft, but I will also point out, there's a drag mode, there's a drift mode, there's a thing with bikes. Behold, it's very moddable, this game. So you can use a craft from your favourite Wipeout game, which is this one. That's my favourite craft, the Assegai from Wipeout 3. Mwah! The handling is bellissimo. There's also some workshop stuff that people have just fairly creatively made. But I'm going to showcase this game's stuff, because it does have, in its own right, it is a really good game. So I'm going to use the 2280 Tenrai, because Tenrai is my favourite, I think. It's just good all round, but with a little bit of a focus on handling and acceleration. I really like it. So, here we go. We are only on Halberd, so I don't quite have to concentrate as hard. But, yeah, it's a Wipeout game, basically. There are weapons. The more gravelly sounding guy is the Warning, and the more, I guess, British sounding guy is what you have. It's a little bit of a strange way of doing it, but you just kind of work off the symbols at a point. I am better than this. There we go. I just need to concentrate a little bit to actually gain any skill. So, there we go. You can, as in Wipeout games, use hyper thrust. There are various different sort of game mode, different types of thrust and healing and stuff, but this is the basic one where you get the pit lane. I love that noise. Oops. Oh dear. You get the pit lane and you can press a button. I'm actually using a controller. It works fantastically well with a controller, this game. Yeah, and from what I understand, it's even so heavily moddable that you can change the user interface, you can change the sound font, just everything. You can basically turn it into Wipeout 3, but with a modern engine. It's crazy, or indeed any Wipeout game, as far as I'm aware. The modding community is very strong for this game, and that's by design. It's a little bit of a wink from the developers, where they're like, we're going to make a game that's a lot like Wipeout, and we're going to make it really heavily moddable. Nudge, nudge. Go and add stuff in from the actual Wipeout games, because we want another Wipeout game, because they were fantastic. This actually is slow for the Wipeout games. This is pretty tame. 3, 2, 1, bear in mind I am on a speed setting that is 2 below maximum, and the jumps between the speed settings are pretty big. So, yeah. In my time, I've done a few time trials that qualify me on the world leaderboard so that I can see where I was. Attic Nove, which is where we are now, is one of my favourite tracks actually, and I gave it the best shot I had on the fastest craft I could find that qualified, and got, I think, maybe 13th overall. So I might not look... Actually, that looks pretty good. I might not look like I'm doing this perfectly to the more racing talented people that watch my channel, but I feel like I'm pretty good. I've always been into racing games as a kid. It raises an interesting nature versus nurture question, I think, because either I could be interested in racing and I like driving in real life, but that could be because I played this game from a young age and it impregnated the idea in my head that I like it. Because I did play this when I was... I can't remember ever getting the game. I don't remember a period in my life, even an instant, where I didn't know about and love Wipeout. So I think it's even such to the point that it's informed my sense of aesthetics. And again, links into the nature versus nurture thing. Did I like the aesthetics of these games before and just realised I liked it when I saw it? Or did I like it because I saw it so young, as such a young kid, and thought it was so cool that it just ingrained in my head as part of my aesthetic sense? I'm not sure. I think, as with everything, it's a bit of a combination of both. I think I probably had a bit of a proclivity for racing sort of skill games like this, and that was encouraged and made to blossom by Wipeout. He says as he crashes from wall to wall, because I'm in a light-hearted reverie at the moment. I'm thinking about my childhood, not about the track. So I do just get such a sense of detached fun and glee when I play these sorts of games. It's just so relaxing. There's no expectation really, it's just fun to drive this thing around a track. Right, Marina Rush is pretty hardcore, but I am on halberd, so... Whee! Now, one of the things I like about this game and the Wipeout games is that if you pitch up, you can fly over the barriers of the track. So it's very... Oh, bloody hell, there we go. It's very loose, and you can kind of carve out entirely new routes. Like, I'll try and show you here. There. You sort of scrape it a little. And like there. There's a really good example of it on Metro, which we'll get to in a minute. Not to mention the fact, the music is really good. Let me try and skip to one of my favourite ones. Actually, Caliburn's pretty good, but... One of my favourite things about a game is... That's really nice, that track. One of my favourite... Just because I'm an auditory learner, I pay a lot of attention to sound. So sound effects, like that for instance, that was cool. And music really makes a game for me. And this has really good music. To say that it's a match for the Wipeout soundtracks is really difficult. It kind of is, but the thing is the Wipeout soundtracks are so legendary that it's difficult to compare them, just because the Wipeout soundtracks, amongst game soundtracks, are classics. They are essentially Mozart, like Sasha, basically making all of Wipeout 3's soundtrack. And a bit of Kraftwerk thrown in there as well. Marvellous. People say video games aren't culture, but if it isn't, then I don't know what it is. And if it's not culture, then you're not playing a very good video game, in my mind. I remember once I was at a party, and somebody had a bit of a profound realisation when they were playing a sort of COD game. They were telling me about this Atlas party, it didn't happen then. When they were in a really beautiful part in the world in the game, and they thought, why am I not there in real life? And they went, and they said, anything you can do in a video game, you can do better in real life. My response was, you're not playing the right video games. Think about it. You can do this, you can kind of do this in real life, but it's car racing. You're not racing hovering spaceships that can, where you have to think about pitch and all these other things and feel the anti-gravity system take hold of the track and bounce you. Like, I don't know how they make it feel intuitive like it is that, but it does feel intuitive, and it's wonderful. The gameplay sensation is fantastic, and this is at 165 frames a second, which YouTube will not be capturing, but it is smoother than the flow of time. It's incredible. And yeah, it's just a wonderful, wonderful game. I had to make a video on it, at least one video on it, because of how much I adore Wipeout and this game. I can't recommend it highly enough, really. Especially if you've played the Wipeout games as a kid and that's your childhood, and you, like I, faced the agony of knowing there was never going to be a new Wipeout game. Well, there is a new Wipeout game. It's BallisticNG. It is here. It exists. It's still being updated. There's more of it coming out. Wipeout, as its cultural essence, as its core, the beauty of it hasn't disappeared. People have kept it alive.
Perfect lap. Final lap.
I know I probably sound like I'm talking through rose-tinted glasses or my arse, but I do love this game. It might sound crazy to think like that about a game, but again, I think video games are underestimated. They are kind of cultural. I'd say they're fully cultural. Like, take the Talos principle, for instance. It's a work of art, in my opinion. If you're not into puzzle games, then fair enough. Like, it's a very puzzly. I mean, it's a fully puzzle game. But when you take the story and the writing and the philosophy, I've seen people in the comment section of its soundtrack talk about. There's one really heartwarming story about the. Oh god, this is a few more. This is a really technical track. There's a very heartwarming story in the comments of one of the videos of the soundtrack about somebody who was a suicidal alcoholic before playing the Talos Principle, and they just happened to get the game. And afterwards, they were instilled with a passion for philosophy that the game had given them and made them realise they had. And they were they were getting their life back on track. Like, when they made the comment, they were partway through a philosophy degree and they found things worth their time in life. How can something not cultural have such a profound effect on somebody? I think video games are very underestimated for their ability to touch the human soul. And for some reason this one resonates with me. Maybe I'm talking completely out my arse, but I don't think so. If I thought that, I wouldn't be saying it, I suppose. But on a less philosophical and profound level, it is just really fun. These poor AI are getting absolutely owned. Because I'm just flying around like this is pretty easy to me because I took the speed down a little bit. But yeah, I'm just having a little stroll talking about how much fun this game is and how much Wipeout is part of my childhood. I own a Mazda MX-5 right now. I drive it to work all the time. I go on trips after work. I might even drive it after this for a bit of fun after recording this video. And it's, I think, partly because I really like driving and, in a sense, racing. I mean, I obviously don't race on the streets because I'm not dumb, but I think I have that car because of this game. Well, not this game, sorry, I keep conflating this with actual Wipeout. I think Wipeout made me realise that I love controlling something at speed. So, yeah, that's why I love this game, it's why I love my car in real life. It's definitely a part of me, the whole enjoying racing thing. It's a bit of a secondary interest, perhaps. It's become a bit more primary now that I can drive. But, here's a good little track skip, there we go. But yeah, this has definitely shaped a sort of part of my upbringing. Not this game specifically, of course, but these sorts of things. Wipeout in general. Well, I say Wipeout in general, specifically Wipeout 3. Oh, I didn't manage to jump there. Because that was the only Wipeout game I really played as a kid. I did try Wipeout Pulse, but it was weird. There was no real momentum to the ships in that game. If you just sort of if you were full hard turning left, and then you flicked the analog stick right, you would now be turning right instantly. I think that was Pulse anyway. But there was no dragging the ship back from the right. There was no real handling. Everything just sort of flicked from side to side. Very weird. So yeah, I thought this game would make a poor playthrough, but it makes a good recommendation video, I think. Nailing the apex is just so satisfying. I do really like this craft in particular. It's very characterful. It's not got particularly good shields and firepower, and the firepower stat does actually matter. It's not just if you can have guns or not, it's how powerful the guns are as well. So the weapons of this thing are particularly weak. In fact, they're pretty pathetic. But it's because the team Tenrai themselves opposed the in-law decision to add weapons to the sport. They were like, no, it should be pure racing. It should just be about skill and craft and like the speed. But because the ratings of the AGL, the Anti-Gravity League, started to dip, and yes, I have read the lore of a racing game, they wanted to put weapons in. So they were like, okay, fine, we'll comply with that, but we're going to make the weapons really weak and not bother with anything. So this is Mana Top. If you've played Wipeout 3, then you probably already know your way around here, like I do. Oops, got a shot there. Oh, actual competitors that have turned on. Now the thing is, it's a really impressive facsimile, or like recreation, but if you turn too sharply at some points, if you cut sort of off the track like you could do in Wipeout 3 too heavily, then you just sort of freeze and get stuck weirdly. It's very strange. but because this craft is quite manoeuvrable, I'm able to avoid that. Like, there is a very good spot to do it. But for instance, if I was, because I've got the Wipeout 3 racing craft, I also have the Icarus. And if you played Wipeout 3, you know the Icarus is a complete bastard to control. It's really unbelievably fast in a straight line, or rather the top speed is very high. The acceleration is actually very low, I think. But its handling is terrible. So you have to be basically perfect to use it. And it makes this track not very fun. Or this track makes the ship not very fun, depending on how you want to look at it. Nail that. Go. Right, easy.
Event complete.
Yeah, so easily came first there, but that wasn't really the point. Oh, I've got the new special menu music, but I want to skip through the thing. So I want to show you what Zen's like. It's pretty fast. I want to clear that and select... Actually, I'm going to select Bassist Divide, because that's a cool track. Oh, whoops, no. There we go. Yeah, play. I want to use... Let's go for the Hyperion. It's pretty... Well, actually, hold on. Do I want the Hyperion, or do I want... Ooh. No, I'll use the Barracuda. Oh, it's got some cool liveries. Yeah, let's use the Barracuda, because then I want to show you the upper speed. Oh god, everyone else is using... Hold on. Oh Christ, that's fast. Okay. Oh my god. Right, I need to recalibrate. Here we go, yeah. Christ alive. Everyone else is in a Barracuda because it's in its own league. Yeah, this is fast. I have to concentrate a little. Okay. Also, there are more laps on the faster settings because the laps are shorter. Oh my god. The lap is perfect so far. I feel like I'm doing pretty good. God, the handling of this thing is incredible. Nice. Thank you. Ah, damn it. No, you don't, sunshine. This thing's so bloody grippy. It's fantastic. So, one of my roommates in my third year of university played a lot of a Formula 1 game. And, sorry, Will, if you ever end up watching this, I'm sorry that I'm about to embarrass you to all of probably like 10 people who watch this. But he played a lot of this at the Formula 1 game, and me with my childhood playing games that are this quick, looked at it and went, that seems cool, and challenged him to, like, I had a bit of a go. It was fairly casual, and I kicked his ass. Because, I mean, I'm talking while I'm doing this now because I'm in the groove. I've entered the zone a little bit, and the Formula 1 game was just so slow by comparison. I want to do another one now. I'm in the zone. Let's see, Zen, what the tracks are there? Nice. Do Metro again, but I want to show you some new stuff. I don't really like most of the Outer Reaches tracks, to be honest, because I don't know. It's a DLC that I didn't vibe with as much. Oh, probably shouldn't use the drag tracks. Oh, Nova Park's fun, actually. my god, what is that? Look at the thumbnail in the top right. Anyway, Overpark. I might do terribly because I don't really remember this one. But yeah, something this quick against the Formula 1 game. And the Formula 1 cars in that game, oops, just had infinite grip. You could just do whatever you wanted, basically. Oh my god, I have no idea what's happening. I chose a track that I don't know. Why did I do this? Right, I can manage. Oh, god. God. Just enjoyed the segment of the video where I just struggle. Oh, thank you, game. That was a very, very generous clip there. I cannot catch them. This is how hard this game can be. In fact, you know what? Can't manage that. Yeah, so it's pretty fast. Wow, the framework model of the Barracuda, not the Barracuda Zero, the Barracuda is kind of crazy. I didn't know the front was like triple segmented like that. I thought it was just one big front thing. But yeah, so I love this game. It's fantastic. The campaign is really good. It's a very long campaign. I love the aesthetics. Like, the menus are so cool. I like the sort of minimalistic, the colourful minimalism is probably how you describe it, or it's how I choose to describe it. There's a new 2280 campaign as well, which I think is free. I certainly didn't buy it, but I had all the DLCs to begin with, so yeah. The Asta League, I haven't actually completed, but whatever. Yeah, oh, excuse the yawn. Had a tiring day, but yeah, I love this game. I think with that, my recommendation is fairly complete after that rant. I've no idea how long this video will be, but I'm hoping it's around half an hour. So, yeah. Thank you for watching. I will see you next time for something completely unrelated.